what's going on? You're tuning into the One Mic Music Network, live for you and yours and everybody and theirs. And right now, you're tuning in with the one and only NFAJ Sean. And right now, I got a caller on the line. Call him. Tell her who you are, where you from, and what you got going on.
Man, what's going on with y'all, man? I'm Bryce. I'm an advocate for mental health, abuse, and addiction. And right now, we're just going to chop it up and talk about a little bit about what I do and how I do it. So, I represent a brand called Nothing But Overtime. And what we do is we let another person know that they're not alone. We give them a reason to speak up against society because, everybody gets canceled by society. Well, I teach people to not get canceled because you make society.
So when you tell me, man, what's going on with Nothing But Overtime? I see you guys got a lot of projects going on, a lot of programs going on. So let's go a little bit into that. What you guys been doing right now, and what do you plan on to do in the future?
So as you see, Jay, I'm starting to set up my shop area, man. It's been a little bit hectic week, but that being said, working on a nonprofit right now, and we're gonna be going through crowdfunding. It's gonna be to help the next person out. We haven't figured out all the juicy details yet, but we're in the process of still getting everything done with legal side of things. We got a merch brand going. Nothing but overtime. MBO is not just a brand; it's a lifestyle. So we want people who represent the lifestyle, to represent our brand itself. One of the biggest things that we're working on right now is really just trying to build a podcast platform so people can use their voice to tell their testimony.
So I see you're on TikTok right now, and you're over here with all these followers. You got all these people tapping in all the time. So it's like a TikTok influencer, they call them. So that's what I'm seeing right now. So what's it like being a TikTok influencer?
Well, there's a lot of attention. There's a lot of spam and trolls. And then there's a lot of people that also actually enjoy the content. I'd say it's a mixed emotion between living a real life and living like a king. Because at the end of the day, you get treated very differently when people like what you do. And that's one of the biggest things that a lot of us got to remain humble about because even though so many people hit me up, it's not all about business, right? It's probably a good 25% business, 75% bullshit. So a lot of the things could be, people flirting or being inappropriate to, people wanting money or options from you for free or somebody just asking you questions just to piss you off or more going into detail, someone just pretending to be something they're not to, get you engaged in their energy instead of what you got, focused on.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. There's a lot of that going on right now on social media. There's a lot of that. Now, when you say trolls and stuff, what's going on with the trolls? How's the troll environment on TikTok?
So for me, I let trolls. So when I go live, I let trolls join. Right. When I let trolls join, because I know trolls are real. I know the real people sitting on a keyboard somewhere, whether it's in their mom's basement, in their basement, or sitting on top of the roof somewhere, aggravated as hell at the world. So that being said, you know, I've had trolls come in my life and be, you know, concerning at one point where I thought it was going to be unprofessional. And now they're friends of mine who support NBO, nothing but overtime, because of the fact that I gave them a chance. Most trolls are just people in their emotions, people who don't have friends, people who are mad at the world, and that's the way that they get out. So if there's games like Call of Duty and stuff, not actual people be out there doing that type of action, but they be in that game doing that thing because of the fact that they want to express themselves. Well, it's the same thing with trolls. They like to express themselves and they like to be warriors on the keyboard. And if you give them a chance to be who they are and accept them for who they are, they don't even try no more. They just be like, I'm just playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so depending on how you go about it, no matter how you look at it, for every positive, there's a negative, right? What goes up, got to come down. So at the end of the day, every positive has a negative. And even though they're trolls, that sound like they're negative, they could just be somebody wanting help. And we're not here to judge them or discriminate them. We're here to bring them to the table and tell them to have a seat.
So are these trolls usually trolling you about being from Baltimore? Because I know that's where you're from, right? So are they trolling you about being from Baltimore or anything about trying to check you that you're from Baltimore or what?
So first of all, shout out to Baltimore, right? Shout out for
Yeah.
GQ for having me. Shout out to Jay, man, for doing this thing with me. And while we're on this topic, I want to let y'all know, man, we do got a collab coming in. I want y'all to check it out. Make sure you check it out. GQ.shop. It's about to be litty. But I will say this. Yes, I'm from Baltimore City, 100% now. And I represent to the fullest. But one of the biggest things that people troll me on is my lifestyle experience. They like to pretend in their head, or for the majority energy to get that focus on them, that things are fake when they're not, or somebody's opinion doesn't matter. So like they'll be like, oh, Bryce, you ain't about that life, right? Or hey, Bryce, you got a fake chain on. Or hey, Bryce, that ain't your brand, that's somebody else's, you're just representing it. Or you don't own a business, you're just pretending. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be somebody out there mocking you, right? No matter how rich you are, no matter how poor you are. Look at the richest man in the world. He just crossed $500 billion labeled, right? And people look at him like he's trash, right? We ain't gonna use names. We know who he talking about. And then there's the weakest of weak, or what they think is Jesus, right? He was the poorest of poorest, the weakest of weak, and the whatever, right? And look how he's treasured amongst the people that we know who he is, right? So no matter how rich you are, how poor you are, it's all in the eyes of the beholder and who represents it. So, in my opinion, yeah, man, they attacked me for being from Baltimore because they got people like Chicago, Milwaukee, Philadelphia. Different cities want to target different cities and think they're bigger and badder than the next. But at the end of the day, the real recognize real, and ones that are actually in tune with the business side of things, we rocking, we loving life. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So I watched The Wire a lot, and I remember watching it and just it being so familiar to like what I'm used to growing up. I lived in a lot of different hoods from New York and even New Jersey hoods, and they all looked like The Wire. So I always thought like Baltimore was like another one of those. So growing up in Baltimore, right? You're walking in these streets. Is it like The Wire? Is it like what they showed on the TV? Is it worse?
I'm gonna say it like this, Jay. My opinion, reason why The Wire got canceled is because we weren't tolerating the fake. We aren't gonna pretend that this image is for for everybody, because it's not, right? In my opinion, I don't know what the world sees when they watch TV, but I come from bed bugs and roaches and rats. I come from blood, and I come from misery and pain, and educational purposes only, right? Both of my parents were violently taken from me. And we won't go into too much detail on how they got taken and all that good stuff, but and in this episode, Jay, I'm gonna make it clear to the viewers, I didn't grow up nothing but hate. I didn't grow up nothing but the bully's bully. I didn't grow up nothing but pain and suffering and understanding how to survive. There was no nurturing for me. There was no love for me. There was no happy faces with me. There was no Christmases and birthdays and all the Valentine's days and proms and school dances with me. None of that stuff happened in my life. Right. So for me to be able to speak on things like this is what I can tell you. Baltimore is just another city, another broken, lost city. And The Wire is another cover up to give a idea of what the city was like. But no, it's way worse than The Wire showed. Way worse. You got 10, 11-year-old kids out there toting. And if you don't know what toting means, it means holding a big piece ready to blow something down, right? Educational purposes. We ain't talking candles. So at the end of the day, it's a very violent city where everybody wants to get up on somebody. Not because they're bad, because of the direction we're taught. And that's just the truth, man. If we had more direction out there, which a lot of people run from that city. I didn't run. I was on a lot of drugs at the time. And I went to my mom's funeral and something bad happened. And I had a chance to get out. It was a blessing in disguise. I had a chance to get out. Now I'm going on 10 years clean from heroin, right? All praise be to God. So for me, I speak on things like this because it's my passion. It's my lifestyle. It's not something I watch on a movie. It's not something I'm reading in a book. Speaking of that, guys, we got a book on the way. I ain't gonna lie to you. Magazine's coming soon too. Yeah. So that being said, realistically, Jay, I'm kind of repeating myself because I like this energy. But at the end of the day, yeah, man, we need more people to direct somebody and not just movies. Movies kind of give a cover up of the real thing, right? And The Wire, it spoke on different things about the life, but it never gave the true nitty gritty of the life. If you look at all these rappers talking about their cities, you never see Baltimore. If you look at the news, you don't never really hear Baltimore. You look at the damn army that just stopped in. They went to DC, but they did not go to Baltimore. Now listen, there's a reason for things. Not saying that they won't. But Baltimore City's a third world country almost, man. It's not considered a Chicago. Chicago's got millions, 8 million if I'm correct, in population. We have under a million that's documented.
Mm.
And we don't got the color scheme of things. We don't look at Maryland's different, but Baltimore City, we accept everybody and everybody. We don't sit there and judge you for your color, for your race, for your natural, environment of culture of who you are or what color you represent. Now, different city of hoods, right? Like I'm from Southwest Baltimore, so yeah, there's color schemes. But I'm grown now. I respect things, right? And I'm not glorifying no negatives, but yeah, man, we got numbers and colors where I'm from, and it's not the race. There's many people with different genders that represent things, and there's many people of um, different ages and race groups as well as anywhere else. But Baltimore specifically focuses on numbers and colors. That's what I'll tell you. We don't go out there and destroy people's communities. We build, man. We build because we don't have nothing. And the ones that do take from people, they're the ones that do deserve to be locked up these days because they don't have no morals. They don't have no principles. They just destroying people's lives. And that's not what gangsters do, man. Gangsters don't destroy lives. They rebuild. They rebuild communities because the communities had nothing. They stand up.
Yeah, man. I definitely seen a lot going on, you know, in the years as far as development wise goes. Like there's a lot of development, a lot of real estate, people going in there trying to fix up Baltimore. So, I know you got this nonprofit organization, man. Why don't you go like a little bit about that? Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to do something for Baltimore's, like rebuild it somehow?
So anybody that's worked in Baltimore for something positive, no bullshit, Jay. Rest in peace to them. They're gone. I haven't found one person that was politically involved or socially involved with an actual community of a gangster area that's still alive today. Even, our most up highest ranks in our city that control the things is involved in a lifestyle that is never ending. It's deeper than what I can express on here, and I'm not going to express it on here. But our politicians, all the way up, are involved in our city illegally.
Wow. Well, allegedly, that's
No, no,
what's
no, no. There's
probably
there's literally
going
a
on.
Netflix. There's a Netflix where 7 cops
Whoa.
personally that made it to the Netflix because they were robbing drug dealers and they were setting up schemes of things for certain individuals, favoritizing on certain individuals who would make money with them. And it was called the Gun Task Force. They personally harassed me before.
Yeah, you actually saw stuff like that going on in The Wire. I remember. I remember. That was kind of
I've lived
crazy.
the real life of it though.
Ouch. That's insane. It's like they were just letting them, right? Just sell whatever they wanted. That was insane.
Put it
That
this
was
way, Jay,
crazy.
where I'm from, we don't wear flip flops, we don't wear headphones. There
Yeah.
is no peace, brother. You can't wear a chain. You can't wear a watch. You can't have flicking earrings. You can't. I mean, you can't even wear your sweatpants a certain way or your hat. You're getting
Sheesh.
stopped by an 11-year-old kid instantly. A kid, brother. A kid. Because the truth is, you can't go home unless you bringing back some bread to the table. They're not
Sheesh.
letting you come home. I can't make this up, Jay. It's so bad out there, brother. And not because it's a
Mm-mm-mm.
scary bad, because you can tell, like when you have a heart for good, you don't see all the negatives no more in people. You see the direction they need. You know what I'm saying? You come up with a solution on how to solve the problem, not add to it. So when I see that 11-year-old, I don't see an 11-year-old problem child. I see an 11-year-old that needs to be saved. I see an 11-year-old that didn't have a dad or a mom, or has a dad and mom, and the dad and mom don't know how to be a dad and mom. So now the kid don't know how to be a kid. Now I got to be grown. And that's the sad facts of things. Like, I didn't get a juvenile life. Did 5.5 years, didn't have an option. That's the first thing. Second thing, like my first death was my grandpa, man. I was like 6 years old. That was my first witness. And then I was raised for my grandma from the age of 2 and up. But, my first unalive situation of a witnessing it was with my grandma. I was like 9 years old. Then my father got taken violently. I was like 8 years old. So I grew up on medication, 10 medications a day to be exact. A social security check I got at 7 years old because I lost mine. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many different levels of this stuff that goes to it that I can't really express on here because I always get canceled or shadow banned or I get censored. So when I say in real life, I understand what people are going through, Jay. That's the reason why I'm doing it, man. I really lived a life. I really made 100 grand at 24 years old, nine or touching the table. I've really been behind them places. I really know them monsters. I really touched elbows with them people. So I don't speak on this as an image to show people I'm cool. I speak on this and I want to do this nonprofit to show people that they're not alone. And nothing but overtime. It's not just a brand, man. It's a lifestyle. I show that in action. And we have over 33,000 people, and I want to say a good 3,000 minimum are trying to help somebody out right now, just like me and you.
So, what are some of the programs you want to do with the nonprofit?
Well, I would like to do community gardens. I would like a lot more people to learn how to garden. One reason being because I haven't learned myself. And two, look at all this shit we got to eat. We're damn near forced to eat it. Now, we may not be forced to our head to eat it, but who don't want to go to Walmart now? Let's be honest. Who don't go to Walmart? Now, that's a whole nother topic when I'm going to jump on, but I'm gonna leave it at this. Ain't none of that shit worth it. When you can build your own garden and raise your own food, you don't have to go to Walmart. You choose to go to Walmart. It's self-discipline. Just like you don't have to be, bigger than you're supposed to be in your age and your height. We choose to be, right? So it's all about self-discipline and sacrifice. And that's what it's about, man. You can't get success without self-discipline and sacrifice and dedication. It's impossible. So I want to learn and teach others about um, gardens, community centers. Again, I feel like if we had more community centers that were more faith based, not just money based, or someone just getting a job because they just got out of jail and don't care about their life or don't appreciate their life. If we found more people who appreciate their life and are thankful for that second chance, our communities would grow. They would grow like gentle flowers, passionate flowers. And the reason why we don't have passionate flowers because we keep hiring people who aren't passionate. We hire people who are specific on their self. How can you help someone if you're selfish? Anybody knows me knows I'm selfless. I never cared about myself. And then the more and more and more and more and more and more people get to know me, they realize I do care about myself, but I care about you more. You know what I'm saying? So community gardens, community centers, And I'm thinking personally, parks. We need better parks. We need to clean up our areas. We need places where our kids can be safe, where animals and our family can sit and not have to worry about the next person or the next energy coming in and ruining it. And whether that park has security cameras where you got to go in and just, scan something, I don't know. But I know there's ways to protect our community, and we just choose not to care because it's cheap. I'm tired of cheap. I want quality.
There you go. That sounds like some excellent stuff for the future. I've seen that you're all about faith now with this, so let's go a little bit into that. Now, how would you incorporate faith into all of this?
So if I didn't have God, I wouldn't have got clean. When I say I went to methadone programs, I've been in Suboxone joints, that's not what got me clean. What got me clean is the fact that I was able to be prayed for. I cannot make this up. My grandma prayed for me and I withdrew for 2 weeks, but I beat it. All praise be to God. I didn't have them substance programs at that time. When I did it, it was because I was trying to kick the habit without the prayer. I was trying to thug it out by myself, and it never worked. In fact, I know people to this day that got on there after me and they're still on the stuff because of the fact that they not believing in God. Now, you can call it what you want to call it. I'm gonna tell you what I think it is, right? At the end of the day, what I think it is you put God first.
Yeah,
And then you pray on what you're supposed to do next. And God's gonna lead you. God says, be still. And if you're be still, you'll understand what you ask, you shall receive. It's not meant for everybody, right? Unless you understand it's for everybody. So I get on here to let y'all know, man, it's for everybody. Every single one of y'all is special. I ain't got the verse in front of me, but in the Bible somewhere it talks about how you are a masterpiece that was built and designed by the hands of God. And that being said, man, it's such a beautiful understanding when you realize you have power. And there's power in the name of Jesus Christ, whether I get canceled or not. That's what I believe in. You don't have to believe. You don't even have to listen to this. But at the end of the day, if you want to really be saved, the way to do it is to follow the successful bookprint. The Bible stands for biblical instructions to leave earth. I can't read the Bible to save my life, but there's things to help me read it. Going to church, finding people who like to read, a Bible app that likes to read to me. And you got this little thing right here. It just speaks to you. And it don't shut up until you push pause or shut it off. So we can make excuses why we don't read, or why we don't want to educate ourselves, or why we don't want to be healthy, or why we don't want to be parents, or why we don't want to be good people. Or we can self-sacrifice, stop talking about these worldly things and start doing things for others that is going to bring us to a new generation, a new lifestyle, a new world, man. I put faith-based in it because everybody around me that's faith-based normally has a mature mindset. So don't get me wrong, everybody is not the same. So you got to pray for discernment. You got to know who's right and who's wrong. But at the end of the day, they're normally dressed up for the occasion. They normally don't curse in church. They normally speak their mind and they actually, believe what they stand for and stand what they believe for. You know what I'm saying? And the people who you're around is who you become. So if you're around a bunch of educated people, whether they're confused or non-faith believers, whatever, they're still in that setting and you're still going to learn something. That's a fact. So if you want to sit in the house and give an excuse why you can't learn something, it's not because them people are bad. You're as bad as them, not even wanting to try. You can't hit a home run if you don't swing the bat.
yeah, yeah. So I know you have this new t-shirts coming out. We put it on the website. So why don't you tell the people about the t-shirts and all of that, and how me and you are going to be collabing on the shirt as well.
Yeah, man. So Jay's the man, man. He got the fashion designers. He got the things going on the East Coast. He's rocking with the West Coast heavies. He's got a few things going on. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we're making a collab for the people. We're gonna do a winter collection. And to check it out, you're gonna have to click the link, man. You're gonna have to check it out. I ain't even gonna speak on. I'm gonna let you find out. If you're interested, you'll click the link. That being said, I also have my own brand, as you see, nothing but overtime, and I have many other things as well. But right now, like I said, I'm in the process of setting everything up. Just got out of 5 year on and off relationship, so it's been a hell of a 5 years. But I'm back, better, faster, and stronger. More mindset, more head in the game, actions going towards everything I'm believing in, and the vision itself is being put together like a puzzle. So all praise be to God for that.
There you go, man. Hey, yo, shout out to you, man. How can people find you on social media? How can they find you on TikTok? All the platforms that you on. How can they find you?
Well, definitely find me on gq.shop. That's number one, because I'm gonna be rocking the platform. Yeah, me. Second, NBO nothing but overtime, man. On TikTok. Bryce Cino, BryceCino is my other TikTok. That's where I go live. That's where I'm tuned in with the people. That's where you can ask me questions, advice, and vent, and meet new people from all around the world, literally all around the world, internationally. And I got Facebook, THA space middleman. That's where I keep my legal team, so everything's in a bubble. And I mean, I'm on Instagram as well. But the biggest way to really get a hold of me is be a human, be yourself, and reach out. However you do that.
Well, there you go, people. Bryce Cino, thanks for coming on to the show. This is the
All
One
praise
Mic
be to
Music
God, man.
Network. This was brought to you by GQ.shop. That's JIKU.shop. GQ.shop is helping so many people get online, build a digital store using AI. This is amazing, great technology. I'm seeing what's going on right now. So many people are setting up their own store and they're selling online, making thousands of dollars every month. Side income, full income, hustle income. Yo, you don't even need a job anymore with the ways that you can make money online. And GQ.shop is definitely that spot to be at. Also, go check out Nothing But Overtime. Nothing But Overtime is going to have a whole bunch of new gear. They're going to have their own digital shop right on GQ.shop. Also, go share this with your baby mama. Go share this with your girlfriend. Go share this with her sister. Go share this with your mama, your auntie, everybody, even your grandma.